Chevrolet has built some of the most durable engines ever made, and a few that can become very expensive lessons if you don't know what to look for. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 Chevrolet engines you should research carefully before buying, and 5 that have earned a reputation for long-term reliability when properly maintained. By the end, you'll know which engines live up to the small block legend, and which ones owners often wish they'd avoided. Starting with the 5 engines to research carefully. Number 5. 3.6-liter LFX/LLT high-feature V6. Found in various GM vehicles from 2008 through recent years, this engine has a timing chain stretch issue that primarily affects early production models. The root cause is a combination of poor lubrication at the front of the engine and GM's historically long factory oil change intervals that many owners followed religiously, not knowing they were damaging their engines. Stretched chains lead to engine rattles on startup and misfires that can leave you stranded. This primarily affects 2008 through 2011 versions, while post-2012 LFX and LVK revisions received improved internal oiling that significantly reduced the risk of stretch. But here's what really gets me fired up about this situation. GM knew about the timing chain issues in these early engines, yet they continued recommending extended oil change intervals that contributed to the problem. What makes this particularly frustrating is that the fix isn't just replacing the chain. You often need the guides, tensioners, and sometimes even the timing cover if the chain has been slapping around inside the engine. We're talking about a repair that can easily cost $3,000 to $4,000 at a dealership. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN before buying any vehicle with this engine, especially early production years. Number 4. 5.3-liter/6.2-liter L, 83/L, 84/L, 87 AFM/DFM V8s. These modern V8s suffer from frequent lifter failures caused by active fuel management and dynamic fuel management systems. These complex lifters can seize or fail to lock properly under normal operating conditions. A failed lifter will cause a loud ticking or misfire and often scores the camshaft, though some recent fixes replace only the lifters per updated GM service bulletins if the damage is caught early enough. Here's where this gets personal for truck owners. You buy a brand new Silverado or Sierra expecting decades of reliable service, and at 60,000 miles, you're facing a $6,000 engine rebuild because of a fuel management system that was supposed to save you gas money. The AFM and DFM systems deactivate cylinders under light load conditions, but the lifters that enable this technology are the weak point. When they fail, they don't just cause noise. They can destroy the camshaft lobes and require complete top-end rebuilds. The irony is that disabling the AFM/DFM system with aftermarket solutions often prevents these failures, but doing so voids your warranty. You're stuck between accepting a flawed system or paying to fix GM's design problem yourself. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN, and consider the long-term costs of AFM/DFM system repairs when shopping for these trucks. Number 3. 2.4-liter Ecotech LAF/LEA. Found in 2010 through 2017 models like the Equinox, this engine burns excessive oil due to faulty piston ring sealing that affects a significant number of vehicles. This oil loss, especially if oil isn't monitored or added between changes, starves the timing chain. Tensioner of pressure. This leads to chain failure and catastrophic engine destruction that can happen without warning. Here's what makes this situation so dangerous. Many owners followed GM's recommended oil change intervals without realizing their engine was burning oil at an alarming rate. By the time they discovered the problem, the timing chain had already failed. The oil consumption happens because the piston rings don't seal properly, allowing oil to burn off through the combustion chamber. Some vehicles consume a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, but owners don't always notice until it's too late. The timing chain failure is often sudden and catastrophic. One day, your Equinox is running fine. The next day, the timing chain snaps and destroys the valves, pistons, and cylinder head. You're looking at either a complete engine replacement or scrapping the vehicle entirely. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN. And if you're considering one of these vehicles, budget for frequent oil changes and constant oil level monitoring. Number 2, 1.4-liter turbo Ecotech, LUJ/LUV. This engine is plagued by cooling system leaks and a flawed integrated PCV system in the intake manifold that can cause multiple expensive failures. A failed PCV check valve can contribute to high crankcase pressure, risking seals or turbocharger failure. Fortunately, aftermarket PCV fix kits are now widely available and recommended as a permanent solution. But here's what the dealerships often don't explain when you're shopping for a Cruze or Sonic. The cooling system problems aren't just minor leaks. They can lead to overheating and complete engine failure if not addressed promptly. The turbocharger is particularly vulnerable to the PCV system problems. When crankcase pressure builds up due to the faulty valve, it can force oil past seals and into the turbo, leading to bearing failure and complete turbocharger replacement. The cooling system leaks often start small, but can quickly escalate to major problems. A minor coolant leak can turn into a cracked cylinder head if the engine overheats, transforming a $200 repair into a $4,000 engine rebuild. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN, and budget for PCV system upgrades and cooling system maintenance if you're considering one of these vehicles. Number 1, 2-liter LTG Turbo, 2013 to 2015. Early iterations of the LTG had brittle piston castings prone to cracking under low-speed pre-ignition conditions that could cause sudden engine failure. This is primarily a risk in tuned or modified examples where boost pressures are pushed beyond factory limits. Stock units post-2015 fare much better due to improved piston designs and updated engine management. Here's where this gets personal for performance enthusiasts. You buy a Camaro or ATS expecting to enjoy some spirited driving, and the engine destroys itself due to a piston design that couldn't handle the stresses of modern turbo technology. The low-speed pre-ignition problem is particularly dangerous because it can happen without warning. The engine may run perfectly fine for thousands of miles, then suddenly experience piston failure during normal acceleration. The piston cracking often leads to complete engine destruction, as the broken pieces can damage cylinder walls, connecting rods, and the crankshaft. You're not looking at a simple piston replacement. You're looking at a complete engine rebuild or replacement. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN, and avoid modified examples unless you're prepared for the risk of catastrophic engine failure. Now let me tell you about the Chevrolet engines that actually live up to the legendary small block reputation. Number 5, 5.3-liter Vortec LM 7/L59 Pre-AFM. The Gen 3 small block from 1999 through 2006 lacks cylinder deactivation, making it mechanically simple and robust. This is the engine that built Chevrolet's modern reputation for truck reliability. Featuring an iron block and simple pushrod architecture, these are widely considered the gold standard for 300,000-mile trucks among fleet operators and enthusiasts alike. The pre-AFM 5.3-liter represents everything right about GM's LS engine family. Simple design, proven technology, and conservative tuning that prioritizes longevity over maximum power output. Many taxi companies and fleet operators specifically sought out trucks with this engine because of its proven track record in commercial applications. When your livelihood depends on your vehicle starting every day, the pre-AFM 5.3-liter delivers that reliability consistently. The aftermarket support for these engines is exceptional, with performance parts and rebuild components readily available at reasonable prices. Whether you're maintaining a stock truck or building a performance engine, parts availability ensures these engines can be kept running indefinitely. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN to verify you're getting a well-maintained example. Number 4. 4.2-liter Atlas Inline 6 LL8. This over-engineered DOHC straight 6 is naturally balanced and represents some of GM's finest engineering from the early 2000s. While early 2002 through 2003 units had valve seat drop risks, the problem was largely resolved by the 2004 plus model years. The platform is famous for exceeding 250,000 miles with basic care. The Atlas Inline 6 was designed during GM's brief period of over-engineering, when they built engines with massive safety margins and premium materials. The result is an engine that runs smoother and lasts longer than most V6 alternatives. What makes this engine special is its inherent balance and smooth operation. Unlike V6 engines that require balance shafts to control vibration, the Inline 6 configuration is naturally smooth, resulting in less stress on engine mounts and related components. Unfortunately, GM discontinued this excellent engine due to cost considerations and the push towards smaller, more fuel-efficient power plants. Finding a good example today is becoming increasingly difficult, but they're worth seeking out for their exceptional refinement and durability. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN and verify that any early model has had the valve seat issue addressed. Number 3. 6.2-liter LS3 V8. This represents the peak of the naturally aspirated LS family, providing massive power without the failure points of turbos or cylinder deactivation systems. It's a large displacement, low-stress engine that is widely supported by a massive aftermarket, making parts and service readily available for decades to come. The LS3 was designed as a performance engine from the ground up, with forged internals and robust construction that can handle significantly more power than stock if desired. Many owners report that LS3 engines maintain their power and smoothness well past 200,000 miles, with nothing more than regular oil changes and basic maintenance. The conservative factory tuning leaves plenty of headroom for performance modifications if desired. Racing teams and performance enthusiasts have proven the LS3's durability under extreme conditions, with many examples surviving years of track use and high-power applications that would destroy lesser engines. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN to ensure you're getting a properly maintained example. Number 2. 350 Small Block L31 Vortec. This represents the final evolution of the original small block found in late 90s trucks and vans, incorporating 50 years of refinement into the classic design. The result is an engine that's cheap to repair, easy to diagnose, and incredibly durable in commercial use, with parts availability that will likely continue for decades. The L31 Vortec heads provided significantly improved airflow over earlier small blocks, while maintaining the simplicity and reliability that made the platform legendary. The iron block construction provides exceptional durability and the ability to handle high mileage and heavy use without major issues. Many commercial operators report these engines running well past 300,000 miles with nothing more than regular maintenance. Many enthusiasts consider the L31 the perfect balance between classic small block simplicity and modern reliability, making it an excellent choice for both daily driving and performance applications. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN to verify proper maintenance and ensure you're getting a good example. Number 1. 2-liter LSY Turbo, the modern choice. This engine was designed for efficiency and thermal management rather than raw power, representing GM's latest approach to small displacement turbo technology. As of early 2026, minor oil leaks and bearing reports exist in some Cadillac XT4s at high mileage, but overall failure rates are significantly better than previous GM turbos. We're still awaiting widespread 200,000-mile data to confirm long-term reliability status. The LSY incorporates lessons learned from earlier turbo engine failures, with improved materials and design that address the common failure points of previous generations. Early owner reports suggest that the LSY maintains its performance and efficiency well into high-mileage territory, though it's still too early to make definitive long-term reliability claims. The engineering improvements are promising, but time will tell if this engine truly belongs in the forever category. GM's warranty coverage and service support for this engine has been notably better than previous turbo applications, suggesting they have more confidence in its long-term reliability than earlier designs. Always check service history and NHTSA complaints for the VIN, and maintain strict adherence to oil change intervals to ensure maximum turbocharger life. Here's the bottom line that the automotive press won't tell you. Chevrolet's reputation for reliability is built on engines like the LS3, L31 Vortec, and pre-AFM 5.3 liters. But they've also produced some real problem children like the AFM V8s and early Ecotech motors. Don't let the Chevrolet bow tie fool you into thinking every engine is bulletproof. Do your research, know the problem years, and make informed decisions based on actual reliability data and owner experiences, not marketing hype. The engines I've shown you today represent the best and worst of Chevrolet engineering. The reliable ones will serve you faithfully for decades. The problematic ones will leave you stranded and frustrated with repair bills that exceed your vehicle's value. Based on owner reports and service data, individual results may vary depending on maintenance history and driving conditions. But these patterns are consistent enough that you can make informed decisions when shopping for your next vehicle. Make sure to hit that like button if this information helped you avoid a costly mistake, and subscribe for more honest automotive advice that puts your interests first, not the manufacturer's. Your wallet will thank you for doing the research before you buy.